Good morning, my friends in Colonial Beach. Hey, we're about 48 hours away from our election here in 2021. It's an important election for the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I just wanted to put out a message and talk about it for a moment. At the state level, we all know that we've got the governor's race that's going on, Terry McAuliffe versus Glenn Youngkin. We have education as a major issue as far as the Commonwealth goes, which I think is important because it's important to ensure that our students in the schools, the children, get a starting point or a foundation to be able to take them into adulthood that'll work for them. I don't see something as critical race theory as being part of that. Now, critical race theory has a bunch of different names used as far as how we call it and how we teach it and stuff like that, but there should never be a child in school that feels bad about themselves for nothing that they had anything to do with. So I just wanted to point that out. I totally support Glenn Youngkin. State level also, we've got going on Linwood Blizzard as well as Margaret Ransom as far as our state delegate goes. We're in a very good position because both of those candidates, and Linwood has stopped by my house and I greatly appreciate that, and talked to me, and I find that both of the candidates are well qualified to have that seat. It comes down to a preference as far as your leader goes, but I think that both of those people are qualified and are take into account the local interests of us here in the Westmoreland County area. Now, I want to move on to something that I'm a moderator for Real News. We catch a lot of crap from people because we bring things up. And I understand that, but we are exercising our right and freedom of speech to be able to do that. We try to report things honestly. I know that everybody, accuses us of fake news, but normally when that happens, it's because we're saying something that people don't want to hear or people don't want to have discovered by the populace in general. We have our town council race going on. There's 2 seats available. One is going to be a vacant seat, so one person will automatically get on that's new. And then we've got the race for the seat that was appointed to Kenny Allison about approximately a year ago. I think that all the people that are running for town council are good people. Number one, Kenny Allison has served. He takes time all the time to be able to be there as far as the town council meetings, and that counts for something. Andrea Clement, known in the community, fantastic lady, no problem there either. Maggie Lane, love Maggie, young woman, younger person coming in to the town council, love that idea. And Mr. David Williams, a person that has had years of understanding how to manage, how to work and do things to get people to work together, they're all running. Now, the major things that I think of, and talking to my other moderators and admins at Real News, is we prefer fiscal conservatives. With that said, the wedge issue, as far as this election goes, is Eleanor Park. Eleanor Park, for the last 6 years that I know of, 5 years that I've been involved in watching what's going on as far as town meetings and stuff like that goes, has been nothing but a headache for this town. We have a group of people that think that Eleanor Park should be nothing, should have nothing on it other than trees and walking squirrels and things like that. That's fine. But Eleanor Park is a piece of property that could generate revenue for this town that this town sorely needs. There's been disinformation put out as far as how it was originally deeded over and, it's in perpetuity and it's going to be with us forever and all that type of stuff. That's not the way the law works. Common law doesn't work that way. Disinformation. it's going to be a flood area and nobody will want to build there. Well, we did have an active purchase offer contract on that property. The flooding issue was never the problem. And I think from 3 days ago, if anybody went down past there, you saw that Eleanor Park was not flooded and one of the worst flood times that we could probably expect. I'm not going to get into the personalities as far as, you know, somebody wants a view or anything like that. The only thing I'm going to get down to is Eleanor Park could generate money for this town, money that's needed. Turn it into a water park. Turn it into something that's going to make some money. I totally support that. Now, with those people that are running as far as town council goes, Kenny Allison, I've had emails back and forth with him over the last week, is in a position that he'll make a decision on Eleanor Park if, you know, the easement would come in, and the easement did come in. So this is going to go back in front of the town council again to be decided if we accept this grant. Remember, folks, if we accept this grant, we're going to end up with $375,000, somewhere around there, for that property, and we will never be able to do anything more with it as far as revenue generating. The property's worth approximately $1 million. I don't know what it is. I know it used to be $800,000 4 or 5 years ago. I've heard people talk about it, say at $1.2 million. That's a shame. I can't see selling off something at less than half price to get absolutely no use out of it for this community. But Kenny said if the easement came through, he'd make his decision when they vote either to take the grant or not take the grant. Andrea Clement has told people that Eleanor Park will remain a park, so she, in my opinion, is on board as far as the easement goes. Maggie Lane. Okay, let's talk about Maggie Lane for a moment. Maggie is an up-and-coming young lady, very talented, understands all kinds of stuff as far as this town goes, and as many of you know, worked as an administrative assistant to the town manager, as well as you'd meet her every time that you'd go in and out of town hall. If anybody knows what's going on as far as this town goes, it's Maggie. She's the one that used to send out those emergency alert type of things and let us know what was going on. So I fully support Maggie getting in there as far as town council goes. Now, here's the thing. Because of an administrative error, Maggie is a write-in candidate, so you have to write her name in. So make sure that you do that on Tuesday. Let me talk about David Williams for a moment. David Williams is a hardworking guy. He is committed to making sure that the people of Colonial Beach are represented the best. He has a good management background. He's a leader. And the thing that I like about both Maggie and David is they bring a perspective of fiscal conservatism to the town council. Somebody who might sit there, hey, why are we doing this? I'd like to hear that more often on our town council. How much is this going to cost us? And is that a real number, or is that just something that we made up to make it look good, or a placemat for passing a resolution that we really don't know how much it might cost in the long run? So, real news, we totally support Maggie and David as far as those town council positions go. And I think that our town would be in a much better position if we chose those people to be on the town council to make it more diverse. The biggest thing that any of us can do in the next 48 hours is maybe talk to our neighbors and see if somebody needs a ride as far as getting over to the election polls. Explain the ballot, pick up a ballot, take the ballot, pull it up and go, hey, do you need any help with this? Because sometimes, like my mother-in-law, for instance, she's a bit older, and she asked me yesterday to come over today, bring a ballot over so that we can talk about the candidates and stuff like that. I think that that's an important thing for us to do. But we have to get out the vote, and we've got to be able to answer the questions. And it's got to be a decision that's personal. It doesn't matter what Jim Green says. It doesn't matter what other people say. It's something that you have to look at inside your heart. Do you want to go a more conservative direction and go with people like Glenn Youngkin, Margaret Ransom, Maggie Lane, David Williams, or do you want to go out to the other side, which may be slightly more liberal? With that, I just want to say, please get out and vote. Have a good day. And thank you for being active in Colonial Beach.